talking about next, and my next guest is Vocation Director, Father Matthew DeRoe. Good morning, Father. How are you doing?
I'm great.
I think it's your first time on the show.
First time on TTT.
You need to be here, though. You know, I've been trying to get you, but you're such a busy man because vocations is a serious thing. Tell us more about before we talk about the week, when we talk about vocations, and I believe we're talking about vocations in the Catholic Church specifically.
Of course.
What does that mean?
All right. So vocations come from a Latin word vocare, and vocare means called. So when we talk about vocations, we're talking about a call. The call, first of all, our baptismal call, because for those who have been baptized, you're baptized into the mission of Jesus Christ. And therefore, you're called to that mission every day of your life as a single person, a married person, as a priest, as a religious, a lay consecrated. So we want to heighten that awareness in this week.
And when exactly is the week? When is the week?
Well, it begins on Sunday and ends on Friday.
And is it that you are looking for persons to become priests, to answer their call?
Yes, to remind people that, you know, God calls. And God is calling people, men and women, into his work and into his mission.
So this is for religious life.
For religious life as well, lay consecrated life. Because the words of Jesus himself, the harvest is rich, but the laborers are few. So ask the Lord of the harvest to send laborers into his harvest.
But you are director of vocation, so you would be able to understand what are the challenges, because the church, not just the Catholic Church, the Anglican Church as well, you know, we all know it's fewer priests. What are the challenges? It's a long time that young men have to stay in training or preparation, but some of them don't stay. You know, they start, but they don't stay. What happens?
Sometimes somebody receives a call, and they begin to discern. So that's an important word. That if you believe that God is calling you, you have to discern that. And people go through the seminary, and after 2 years or 3 years, they may say, you know, I don't think God is calling me. So it's really a clarity of life, a clarity of purpose, a clarity of focus. So we inviting people to really discern their call, because everybody is called, but not everybody is called to marriage, and not everybody is called to religious life or the priesthood.
You spoke about marriage, and you know that's one of the tricky ones, especially, well, not with the Anglicans, but with the Catholic Church, you know, and the young men, and you hear parents say, but I wouldn't be able to have any grandchildren, and, you know, and it's so hard for them to not have a life, you know, with a partner and so on. So, you know, how do you speak to these young men when they come in about that?
So when somebody comes knocking on the doors to sort of deepen their sense of call, there's something called spiritual development, the human development, the intellectual development, the pastoral development. So we really expose a young person to dimensions of himself. And in really going through that over a period of time, the person realizes, you know, probably I have the capacity to live as a single person, as a consecrated person to Almighty God. I mean, that is something that all of us go through. For 6 years I was in the seminary, and every year I would say I would leave next year. I would leave next year, but I'm here 19 years later.
Wow, 19 years. So what happens for Vocation Week?
So Vocations Week, we're starting with prayer, family prayer, because you know the importance of family life. We're inviting all families to make a space, to find a space and pray for vocations. Not only for somebody else's son or daughter to consider a vocation, but for their own son or daughter, their own grandson or granddaughter. On Monday we have something exciting, and we're talking about Wear Green Monday. So for all Catholics and anybody who wants to support the notion of a vocation, wear green. Lisa, you have something. I
have to remember to wear this on Monday.
So because green is the color of hope. So we really want to support vocations through hope, because it's God who calls, and for people to still think that God is calling 2,000 years later, that is hope, and for people to really reconnect with God and the spiritual dimension of themselves. That is hope. And
I have to ask you a tough question, because I think it'll be remiss of me. You know, the Catholic Church has been grappling with the challenges of, you know, sexual abuse and so on. And you would have parents saying, I don't want my child to be part of that. How do you respond to that?
In terms of not wanting to be part of that, correct. From the point of view, not wanting to enter into that kind of behavior or attitude, but it's always hopeful that that child could be a reformer.
Right.
That child could do something as an adult later on to change the understanding or the perception of the church in that negative way. So that's hope too.
Okay, so how does the week end then?
The week ends with something called Call on Canvas.
Right.
And that's, we're inviting all artists, Catholic and non-Catholic, and any artists that come to the Max Murphy Hall at the Chaguanas Roman Catholic Church on Friday for 7 p.m. And basically we are going to launch Call on Canvas. And Call on Canvas is the expression of Cole's stories from the Bible through the medium of art.
Nice.
Airbrushing, oil painting, watercolors. Because, you know, our society is creative. We have so many artists. We have so many people who are just great and envisioning.
Yes.
And we want to localize Cole's stories from the Bible.
Okay.
How would that call look in 2019?
Wonderful.
Be it Isaiah, be it Matthew the tax collector, be it Andrew and Peter and Jeremiah.
So they can just come. They can just come down.
They come and we'll have a
Chaguanas.
registration process beginning at 7. And then we will go into the details. This process lasts from Friday coming all up until Lent in 2020.
Nice. It's a long process.
Right. So they were given time and exposure, and we would go through with them the expectations, the rules. It's going to be exciting. It's going to pull out and draw out artistic energy for the purposes of God.
Wonderful. Well, on that note, Father Matthew Duro, thank you so much for coming on the program. It's been too long.
Okay.
We're going to get you back in time for Christmas and Lent. How's that?
I'm
booking you on air.
That sounds good. That sounds good.
All right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to take in a few messages and come right back here on the Now Morning Show. Stay with us.